Well, somebody has just won another Lotto jackpot. This time, almost $500 million. And God knows what I would do with that. It's all I can do to manage my little paltry sums. And without offense, when you see them interviewed after they have decided to collect their prize, they don't exactly seem to be rocket scientists. And I say that because they do remind me a lot of my relatives. And I do know a lot of people play it, and more than they spend on pet food, beauty care, and I see them at the local watering holes, and bless their little hearts, they're always hoping to catch that brass ring. And it makes you pause and wonder when they say, well, you can't win if you don't play. And I think, well, what if you didn't play? Well, if you didn't play, you'd take the money and put it somewhere else. And let's say for the long haul, you put it in the stock market. I know it's risky. Wait a minute. So is the lottery. So is playing progressive slot machines in Las Vegas. And you ever saw them interviewed, well, you came to the same conclusion as I did previously. And if you set that money aside, and mindful this is for the long haul, markets do go up and down. Boy, do they go up and down. And let's say you go for a 40-year time horizon. You would have what's called a future value. And many times in finance, we usually focus on the present value because that's when we live and are alive. And, you can figure these values out. And indeed, if you did it forever, approximation for the long term, it turns out to be the reciprocal of the yield. Think about it. Let's say you have $100 making 7%. Well, that'd give you $7 a year. And the present value of $7 at 7%, let's see, divide the 0.07 back into the 7, you get back the 100. And if rates go up, the value goes down. Let's try, say, 10%. 0.1 into 7, $70. It went from 100 to 70. But that's traditional present value finance. Let's go back to the question at hand. You could look at the present value of an annuity from the word annual, and a little trick here is to recognize an annuity is just really two perpetuities where you subtract the remainder that you're not going to get, the truncated piece, if you will. Well, let's look now at a future value of an annuity. And instead of going through the math, I'll just give you a chart. Here's one from an Excel spreadsheet. Anybody can do it. I have a person saving $1 a day across 40 years at 8%. That's kind of an average return to the stock market. Yes, again, it does go up and down, but again, playing the lottery and the slot machines is a risk as well. And let's see, we get it accelerating. Notice you get about half of it in the last 10 years. And $1 a day at 8% becomes $100,000 in 40 years. So if you're starting for retirement at 20, by age 60, or if you're the new 30, meaning 40, and you're going to retire at 80, you can still do it. Oh, and by the way, if you can save $10 a day, that becomes $1 million at 8%. That's something to think about when you're playing the lottery. Now, to be fair, we should look at the other side. What happens if you do play the lottery? Let's see, $1 a day across, say, 40 years. That's some $14,000, $15,000 spent. And on average, an average lotto play wins about 2/3 of the amount on average. So you'd lose about 1/3. So you would win about, say, $9,600 odd, $10,000, and lose about $4,000, make it $5,000. So for a likely loss of about $5,000 net. Now let's see. On average, I lose $5,000, or on average, I make $100,000. I've done the math. I think it's time now for you to do likewise with Dr. C Invests.